What's this one? Hey, everybody. What's up? What's up? Can you guys hear me good? Can you guys hear me real good? Can you guys hear me kind of good? If you guys are still eating dinner, just hang out. Meatball quesadillas. I think I just invented that. Hey. How's everyone in the chat? Hey, miss. We'll wait for someone will be here at 7:30. I'm still early. If you guys are new, I usually hold a Wednesday um round table first of the month, but I think I'm going to increase it. It's been a lot of people are asking for it. They enjoy uh asking the questions and you guys answering them. They love the feedback that they get. So um
Hello, how are you, big boy? What's up? What's up? Can tell I used to do a lot of prank calls back in the day, right?
That was awesome.
You should see the look on all you guys' face.
I was like, what happened to her?
Oh, yeah. How y'all doing?
good. We'll just wait until people get in here. Did leave them.
Cool. I got your message on your live Tuesday, I think.
Yeah, Tuesday night if you're up for it, like 6:30 Colorado time. I don't know where you're at. We're
I'm on
Mountain
the East
Standard.
Coast. So you're 2 hours behind me?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's not too late for you, I just know you really love Blue Lotus and you probably have some insights that I may not have on Blue Lotus that I think would be really awesome since everybody's been begging for a Blue Lotus live. I was like,
Oh, yeah. I love Blue Lotus.
yeah, you do.
I really do. But yeah, no, I'd be happy to. You might have to send me a reminder.
That's okay. I'll send you a reminder. I love that idea.
Okay, cool.
Brother, hey, welcome in, everybody. Welcome in. Just relax. If you have a drink or a beverage, or if you're eating or if you're listening in. I know a lot of you said you're just going to be listening in. That's great. Uh,
I need to share this. I haven't shared it with anybody yet.
Oh, that's a good idea. I think we're out of rhythm. It's not one we normally do. So
Yeah.
what we all got here?
what's been going on with you, Lock and Key?
Nothing.
Tim,
Just work, work, and work, and work. You know, we're pretty busy. It's our busy season. So
you in? Time to heal. I mean, you guys are.
Man, I tell you what, and my job's getting crazier
what do you do,
every
Anya?
day. I work for the Ohio State University. I work in purchasing for
Nice.
both the university and the medical center.
That's
And
awesome.
we are building right now the third largest hospital in the Midwest. And
Cool.
that I'm in purchasing, my life has just been really getting busy.
Oh, I know. I feel like I haven't been on here much because we've been so busy with the cleaning company and with the apothecary. Like my nights are spent in the apothecary, and my days are spent in houses and billing and accounting. And I spent like 2 hours doing accounting today. I was like,
I tell you what, I'm going to have a talk with my employer because they're kind of cramping my style on my business, man. We got to have some priorities.
I work for myself, so I tell myself what to do. But there's days where I'm like, I haven't been in the apothecary as much as I want. We got a big order of beef tallow coming in tomorrow, and I have to make more
Mm.
sunscreen and lotion and face cream because I'm completely sold out
There's
at
a
this
couple of
point.
these that are.
We're gonna do that tomorrow on a live. I think I'm gonna go live tomorrow night if I have time, and I'm gonna be
I
making.
did and I
Nice.
really liked it. It was a prickly pear oil with beef
Ooh,
tallow.
I love beef tallow.
Yeah, I do too. And I did
What
that
are the
because
benefits?
there are a lot of people that are have issues with essential oils, and honestly, beef tallow does not smell that great.
I don't have any issues with the smell once if it's I feel as though if it's rendered properly, and I've done a ton of research on this, it doesn't smell. And none of mine seem to have any scents. Like our sunscreen is unscented and it doesn't smell like anything. And then our face lotion has frankincense and something else in it, so that would take over the beef tallow smell.
Uh,
I don't
yeah,
have any issues with it.
I haven't. I need to do that because, yeah, the smell is just whoo.
Also, talk about the benefits of why you're using beef tallow.
Why do I use beef tallow? Because it's amazing for your skin. Because I'm old and it makes me look not so old.
Well, you have to think about what tallow has in it.
Yeah.
You know, if you think about the, excuse me, the properties of beet tallow, look at the collagen concept of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's got collagen, it's got all of the rich fatty acids, it's got stuff that prevents oxidation of the skin. There's all kinds of.
Yeah, and it doesn't clog the skin like a lot of these oils. Let's say coconut oil. Do you know how many people put coconut oil on their face? I can't. It breaks me out in a minute.
I can't. It's great. I can use it everywhere but my face, the coconut oil, but the beef
Yes.
tallow um, has, I don't even know how many different vitamins in it because of the way it's rendered from a cow. If it's rendered properly, I have to say that.
Right. I
Um,
do thoroughly enjoy it. It is the smell. I kind of feel like I've gone into a butcher shop sometimes.
I'll have to send you, I have your address somewhere. I'll have to find it and I'll send you one of my face lotions.
Oh, nice.
We could do
I
trades.
well, I'll tell you what, I'll trade. I'll send you my Blue Lotus tincture.
Yes. Yes.
You can check out the Blue Lotus because it is a tincture and glycerite together.
What's the one you make for the skin that I hear like everybody rave about?
Oh, I'll send you some Monroe Effect. Yes.
Yeah, let's do a trade. I like trades. Trades are my favorite.
Okay, we can do that.
I was like, I like to trade. Okay, hold on. I have a whole list. I'm pulling up my notes. But a lot of people ask me about beef tallow. I'm getting ready to make a beef tallow soap.
Ooh, nice.
It's super high in omega 3s. It has a skin, it helps maintain the integrity of your skin barrier because of its antioxidant properties and oxidative, it helps the oxidative stress not come into your skin. It's got something called conjugated linacol acid,
You
CLA.
know, I never thought about that, but not to interrupt you, honey, but that would be wonderful for people with burn scars. People have been burnt all over. A
Beef tallow.
soap made out of tallow. I have a friend who was burnt in a house fire, and 90% of her body was burnt. And she, that's just going to be her life for the rest of her life. The one thing that we have found that milk baths, if you use camel milk, it's higher in the fats, and she takes a bath in that. And when you said a tallow soap, I thought, oh my God, those fats. Because let's think about burned skin. There's no stretch in it.
There's no fat, there's no moisture, there's no nothing.
Nothing.
So brittle.
There's a lady on here you should send some to.
You'll have
She's,
to send her to me.
yes, she reminds me of my friend. She's been burnt all over, and she's always looking for something to help with the dryness and the tightness of her skin.
Yeah, beef tallow has vitamin A, D, and K, which help boost your collagen production too. So it's got all kinds of good in it. There, tallow is not approved by the FDA, which I don't think anybody here really cares about. But you also want to make sure you get like pasture raised and grass fed. That also helps with the smell of the underlining of the beef tallow. So
Okay. Burn Beauty. That's her name. Burn Beauty.
let me write it down. Oh, where's my pen?
That would be so good for burn victims.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Wow, you know what? And then maybe one day you could even supply hospitals for their burn units.
Oh, that would be great. Are you gonna be my in on that?
I might have to be.
Well, we'll have to send. That would be. I wouldn't even know what to do with myself if our business got that big. I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
that's where we all
Yeah.
dream of being, right?
That would be absolutely wonderful, especially if you're using the goat. Could you use goat milk in there too, or would the tallow be it?
No, I think you could use goat milk in it. I do goat milk soap, but I absolutely think that you could do the two because you still have your butters, like your really good butter, in your beef
Right.
tallow, and then there's always going to be an
This is
olive. I do an olive oil undertone in most of my soaps because olive oil is so good for
Okay.
skin. And then I don't see why you couldn't use goat's milk in it too. I'll have to mess around with some recipes and um, I'll send you some sample bars and stuff.
Yeah, because I know she would love it. But seriously, that Burn Beauty,
I'll
get
reach
reach
out
out
to
to
you.
her.
That's great.
Sorry, we didn't mean to take over your live.
that's what you're here for. So everyone that's new here, Mary, it's the first time here in here. So these are fellow herbalists, and I have a round table first of every month on a Wednesday. But we decided to add another extra, just spur of the moment Wednesday round table, just for everyone to ask questions, kind of mingle, hang around. If you have questions about like any of this stuff up here that maybe you know someone or has something, and maybe we might have or point you in the right direction. You know, there's an herb or something that may be able to you know help a little bit. A lot of you are on taking different prescriptions, or maybe you're just have a. I seen a lady today. Her baby had a rash that was whatever, and they used dandelion, made a dandelion salve and lotion in it. Man, it was within a couple of minutes. It worked well. So this is some of the stuff you can ask the herbalist here. Others are going to be coming in a few. So
So, Mary, what I would look into, I'm not a doctor, a clinician in any way, but I do have my certificate of herbalism from Cornell. And then I also have a background of agriculture and horticulture in my bachelor's. Anyway, one thing that I would look at is slippery elm. Now, slippery elm is an endangered tree, and marshmallow root has the same properties. You're looking for that mucilage. That mucilage is actually going to help coat that to where it's going to actually help your symptoms there. And of course, diet is always a good thing too.
Diet
yes,
is
indeed.
huge.
But so some of you are new. This is Kimber, Lock and Key Apothecary, and this is Angie from Time to Heal. Both very knowledgeable, have their different products lines, and they at any time. If you have when you guys are in this roundtable, you know, send them to your link. Make sure you go visit both of them, see what they have in their website and what they have available. Um, they're always working hard making these uh, tinctures or making these lotions or soaps, whatever it is for you guys. This is it's not a make get rich quick business. This is something they needed. They've seen that there's a change needed, and people could benefit from it. Not only them and their family, but others as well. So they decided to share it and help others. Some of them are like a lot of the toxic chemicals hurt our skin, or maybe we're immune to it, or whatever it is. This is why they
Yep.
make stuff that they do. So
So, Mary, to answer your question on using it, when it comes to an herb that has that mucilage in it, you want to do like a room temperature or a cold extraction. So, what you would do is you would take your herb and you would get some cold water or room temperature water, and you need to let that just s- sit for 2 hours. The longer, the better. And then you're going to strain it. And of course, it's not going to have the regular texture of water because it has that mucilage. It's kind of it's slimy, but not slimy. I have advised people they can warm it up. Just if you want to simmer it, you just want it warm because they find that drinking that may be a little weird texture cold. But you can warm it up a little bit. You can add lemon, ginger, or honey to it, whatever you can do to make it more pleasable to your palate. But the key is a cold or room temperature extraction. You're not going to get that mucilage pulled out of it with hot water.
I also like aloe vera juice for that. Turmeric, if you can handle turmeric, and wheatgrass juice, because they all have anti inflammatory and antioxidant properties. And the wheatgrass juice can also help stimulate your healthy cell growth in your colon. Um, Something a lot of people don't know obviously what marshmallow root is, maybe, but a little bit more mainstream, something that is maybe a little more accessible to some people. But that I do, I love me some marshmallow root.
Hi, Pirate Meds. How are you?
Pirate Meds,
Hello.
Hi, I'm pretty good. How was everybody?
doing well, doing well. This is my round table, so you're part of the round table. You can answer questions, say as you speak, whatever. If someone has a question, you can answer. If you want to tell about your products or anything like that, you're more than welcome to share. I don't know if Kimber's never met Pirate Meds. She's been on my live before. She's just like the rest of us, same thing, just trying to help people. She does tremendous help in what she does, and will you guys all do? And I'm very proud to do something like this, and people do benefit from it. So hey, Alma. So thank you, Pirate Meds, for being in here. Appreciate you,
No
Maya.
doubt. I'm looking at Lock and Key. I'm looking at your printer. Like my
Mm,
printer, because the printer is the MVP of the business, right?
Which one? This one or that one?
The HP one. Yeah, listen, I got a little HP. He just going. I'm like praying for him every day. I just walked out past him. I'm like, listen, you got to do your job because the business rests on you. So you, and I'm just looking at the printer because that's your most valuable player. And if they act like they want to go out, it's a problem. So
I
I'm just like, I'm sitting over there and I went over in the Staples the other day. I'm looking at, I'm like, yeah, that's that one over there that was like $2.99, $3.99. So I'm like, shh. So yeah, God bless you and your printer. Like,
love it. That's the Office Jet Pro. I've had this for like a year, and then I have a little thermal printer here, and they work really good. I've had this one for almost 2 years. This thermal, and I love this HP Office Pro. I love it. If you can afford to invest in it, a good printer's.
listen, I got a HP, but it's a smaller version of that one. It's like the 8020. And I'm just saying I had it for like a year, maybe and a half, and it has, sustained us, but it's going out. Like it's going out. And I have a picture of this printer. Like I'm gonna post it because it's so bad. I have the whole stack of printers at Staples. Like I was going through like which one of these am I going to want? And then they had one where you could. I know this is not what we were supposed to be talking about, but this is major, major to me. This is on my heart. I'm looking at the back. I see the herbs, but I'm like the printer is the MVP because my printer going out. But they got one, and I'm like, is that the one where you buy the individual inks, or is that the one where you actually put the ink in?
We'll go do a printer tour again.
Hallelujah.
So you have to put the ink in, but I have a subscription with HP for like $15 or $20 a month, and they send me all of my cartridges, and I love it. It prints, it scans, it faxes, it does it all. It's the ProJet 9015, but I love this thing. It's awesome. It's my best.
Yes. Thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
okay. I'm just saying, because I was like, do I want to go up to the one with the individual ink? Does that last longer? Like this is major, and I feel like anybody who had, like, if you're going to start something or you're like starting your apothecary, this is major. Like your printer is like a major part of everything, even like selecting paper and stuff like that. Like people don't talk about that type of stuff, and I don't know. Those are the things that's getting to me in my life. That's my stresses. Like my current stress is HP. Like, not so much the dandelions. That's what's making my eczema flare up. Because a lot of times the stuff that's making your skin flare up is the daily stresses of life. And I know when I walk past my HP, that is a problem. Like, what are you doing? You gotta stand tall. You are the
No, I
right.
change inks about maybe every month and a half, and we use this thing for 2 full-time businesses
Okay.
and our kids' personal use. So it's great. We had a question about HiOps.
HiSop. So HiSop's good. It's good for digestive and intestinal problems. You can use it for sore throats, colds, respiratory issues. They actually use it to strengthen a weak heart, so it's good for cardiac.
Antiviral, antibacterial too.
Yep, exactly.
It's good
And
for
you
your
can use it for
skin. If you like
skin.
take a bath in it, like if you boil it and just put it in the water, if you take a bath, it's good for your skin externally. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
It's good for anxiety too, and it does have pain relieving and anti-inflammatory effects too.
Mary had a question. Was asking some info on HiSop.
We're just talking about that.
Ketchup, clip.
Oh,
They got you. What is that song by Chuck Berry? When I was a little bitty boy. Is that what you got going on?
He got delayed.
conservative. Welcome. This is round table. A bunch of herbalists. We just get together. We answer questions or just talk to our chat. More than welcome if you have any advice or point anyone in the right direction. More than welcome. Okay. Who just left? No. Oh. But how are you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you guys doing?
Good. Love your content,
I'm just at my
brother.
shop. Thank you. I'm just at my shop, just hanging out. Today's actually my drawing day, so I'm just drawing for the week.
Awesome.
Hi, it's nice to meet you. My name's Angie.
Hey, by the way, my name's actually Andy, if you guys are wondering. Angie, nice to meet you.
I'm Kimber. Nice to meet you.
Maya.
Is my picture, my face on there? It's just showing okay, it's not showing me actually, no. Okay, no big deal.
Myra. That's Myra in the middle. Next, who is in there? I think I have them booked for the 3rd of next month. The beginning next Saturday, the first Saturday of next month, I have everyone knows him as the dandelion guy. He did his thing went viral talking about dandelions. Herbalist office.
So, question for all you herbalists out here. I use a sous vide to take some herbs that I have soaked in alcohol to grab out those polysaccharides that can only get pulled out by the ethanol. But let's say I want to turn that into an oil. So I use a sous vide right now to take care of that process. How do you guys do it?
I water bath it. So I put the herbs and alcohol for a couple of weeks in a jar or whatever I use at that point. And then I pour the oil, whatever oil base I want to use into it. And then I water bathe it at a really low temperature, not to destroy the herbs, and the ethanol dissipates. But then I still have all the constituents in the herbs.
Yep, that's basically what I'm doing. I just use that sous vide so I don't have to keep it on my stovetop.
Yeah, I got one of them fancy things, so I just water bathe.
No, I get it. I used to do it that way. So if you ever find a sous vide on sale, it's very helpful.
Good to know. That's how I do it.
What do you? What do you? Are you working on something right now? Time to Heal. You said yeah.
Well, that's how I make my face oil because I use natural herbs such as burdock roots, royal jelly, um, olive leaf, moringa's in it. So I use all these herbs, but I want the properties that can only be pulled out by ethanol. Because if I just threw those herbs in oil, I'm only going to get the water-based constituents. I'm not going to get those other constituents, and I want those. So first you have to pull those out through the alcohol process. But of course you don't want to put alcohol on your face, right? It's going to dry you out. That's what you don't want.
I think you can use a process called fractional distillation. Sounds like. What you can do is you can heat up the mixture of alcohol and substance in a glass vial to a certain temperature. You got to be really in control of this. You get it to the temperature that alcohol evaporates at, and then basically what you're left over in the jar is all the good stuff.
Right, and that's kind of what the sous vide does. It's, but it's in water and it's heating it up so that alcohol is burning off. But I do add my oil in there, and I don't usually, I make sure that the oils even that I'm using, if there's any properties in there I don't want to lose that are good for the skin, I'm not getting that so hot that it's ruining those properties either. But I just didn't know if anybody knew of any other way to do that.
Maybe I would just look at, say, the like acidity or alkalinity of the oil you're using versus what you're mixing it with, and see if they mix or if they cancel each other out. Because that might have an effect on it too.
Right. But no, I'm not working on anything new, EJ. No, I just thought a good icebreaker on what herbalists do.
Good icebreaker on winter. What?
Luke, I'm your father.
Oh. What about you? Have you? Know you were working on something with the honey, right? You're getting some pirate meds. I was looking at the same.
I was just looking at, like, listening to what she was saying about the alcohol. Yeah, I don't really get into anything with alcohol, like I don't really get into the tincture business.
No,
It's just not my lane. Like, I can make soap, you know what I'm saying? But I really just like to mess with the honey. So I like beeswax. I like how beeswax works. I'll make skin stuff out of beeswax. I'll make soap, but I won't make soap for the public. Like, everything's just not for everybody. I feel like you just got to learn how to perfect what you're into. So I like making tea blends. I like the flavor of it. Like, oh, it's a tea company. So not necessarily like, I think everybody should drink tea. I think everybody should have a tea time.
right?
Man, girl, yes. I'd love somebody to come over here to my house and my apothecary and be like, oh, let's have tea because I have so many possibilities.
Right. Like, and then, like, how y'all was talking about hyssop. If it was hyssop, like, to me, I would use that in a broth. So to me, it's like, it tastes. I would pair it with chicken, or I would pair it in a soup. And that's how I would purge, just to like, I don't feel like there's herbs and then there's spices, and I just want to taste around the world. That's basically how I look at it. I look at like Hippocrates. His whole motto was let your food be a medicine. So back in the day, grandma used to give you soup. It was good. That Campbell's was competing with grandma, and that's what grandma was doing. She was chopping up celery, she was chopping up onions, she was chopping up kale. She gave you pot liquor. And a simple dinner can change your life. It could change your mood. Even like my dad is from the Caribbean, so he always with the cinnamon and the nutmeg and everything. Like, oh, dad, like, and it's porridge, so the kids get a warm, hot something in their belly. Now kids is getting Fruit Loops. It's cold. It's cold milk. Like it's like the culture here in America is just different from other cultures, and we be looking at them like they're bad for what they doing in their culture. But some of that stuff, that old world stuff, we need it to stay alive. Like, do you see? I'll be watching videos where kids kick a ball and break a leg. I'll be like, cause you need some milk.
Uh,
you, you
you
need
know,
to get in touch with a grass-fed cow. You eating margarine, and you can't believe it's not butter, and I can't believe you just broke your leg.
You need
and
a
Even
you
magnesium
really hit
for
the
that
nail on
too.
the head with the broth and the hyssop.
Yeah.
We as a society, we have people out there buying bone broth on the shelves in boxes that, come on, we need some bone broth. Save those bones, save those scraps of vegetables, throw those herbs in there, throw the things in there and make that bone broth. Grab that bone marrow out. It wasn't Campbell's chicken noodle soup that grandma was serving. It was that good bone broth that made us healthy.
absolutely, they came out and they was competing with grandma. They had in the community the cutest little commercials was tearing the whole family apart. The little boy, the weather outside is frightful. Y'all all remember that commercial? And they got us. Now we all go get that salty soup. You gotta add water. You was dying. Your mouth was all parched. You was like, no, you didn't give me this Campbell soup. So I just feel like, yeah, I'm just gonna go back to the old school. I don't even know a tincture, but I know a cup of soup. I can make you a mean cup of chicken noodle. I could make you a mean chili. I'm feeling like a chili is going to save your life as well, because all the peppers, all the onions, all the herbs that go in chili, like we don't even realize that. And that's what your blood picks up. Your blood picks up those micronutrients. So that's why butter is going to, too much butter. And I told my kids that. I looked at them, I was like, this is something you might want to know for your future. The butter comes with a little measuring stick for a reason, because too much of it, you're going to kill yourself. So you have to understand this is something that your blood is able to absorb immediately, and then it can solidify back in your body. So just be careful. Even though it tastes good, you don't have to smear all of that on your bagel. You don't need a chunk of it. You can't, now that you put it in the microwave and you can't see it's liquefied, you just don't dunk it. So I'm scared of like the movement of the seafood movement. You know how people's like dunking butter and stuff? I'd be like, oh my God. Oh my God. Like little stuff like that. And then the salt that go in it. Yeah, I run from stuff like that. But at the same time, it's viral. So
We
everybody.
are also we're also one of the only countries in the world that does not value food as medicine. I grew up in Europe where that's all it is. Food is your medicine. You have to get a prescription, for example, for like fluoride where I'm from. Like it's not even in your toothpaste, it's not in your water, it's not a normal thing. And I think that's the big thing that we have all forgotten as a society, which I love that you brought that up, Naira, is that food is soul. Food is what makes every building block in your body. And, if things are breaking, what are you missing? If you're sick, what's your body missing? And you can fix all of that through food, as you're over here rubbing tortilla butter on your tortilla. I mean, there's so many options out there. And I think I always tell people
Facts. Most of the ailments we have are basically deficiencies. Most times that's what they are, which lead to further problems. That's literally all it is. It starts off with deficiencies.
100%. I always tell people
Yep.
start with your diet.
I agree.
Always start with your diet, and then let's figure it out from there.
And like Naira said that loves the honey. Oh my God, honey is so good for us. And then when you're sick, she mentioned onions, garlic. I mean, there's so many things that people have in their kitchen cabinets, and they don't realize that's That's medicine right there.
The Amish have something they make out of onions and honey and garlic. Some kind of, it's like a tincture out of that they
Mhm.
make, and they treat like sore throats and flus with it, and it's supposed to be really good.
It's
It
just
is.
it's
And it's
fermented.
just, yeah, it's easy to make.
Yep.
The thing with the garlic, a lot of people don't realize you have to disrupt the clove to
Yep.
activate
That's
the
it.
allicin.
Yep.
The allicin is the medicinal part of it. So even if you just poke it, chop it, you have to smash it, you have to disrupt it to get that allicin activated.
Another big thing too for allergies, I don't think a lot of people think about when we're moving around the country is if you say are moving from, I don't know, I'm moving from Colorado to Tennessee, for example, we'll eventually be moving to Tennessee. And it's going to be a completely different breed of pollens and stuff in Tennessee versus in Colorado. If you can get your hands on local Tennessee honey and start infusing your body with that honey, you're less likely to have an allergic reaction. And I'm big into bee pollen. I love bee pollen. So I recommend eating bee pollen as often as you can get your hands on it. And it's beautiful and it's crunchy and it's good for salads. And
Can I? Oh, can I give you my testimony on pollen? Because listen, I used to have the worst allergies. Right.
right here, it's so beautiful. But yes,
Yes, it is. And I used to have the worst allergies, right? And I lived in North Carolina. So one day I had to call out of work and my eyes were swollen. I was like, oh man. So I was like, Lord, I need you to help me now. Like, if you're going to take me, you're going to take me now because you said you was going to help me with anything. And I, like, literally licked the pollen that was on my car. Like, I grabbed it with my finger and I just licked it. And I was like, and I never had allergies ever again. So I didn't even know you can buy it at the store. I just was, like, about to just take myself out. Like, it was like, I'm tired of this. And I just, like, zits, and I wiped it because I had this little beetle and I just wiped my hand because I lived in Charlotte. The car was coated. The top of the car was green. The car was painted black, but the car was covered in green pollen. And I just said, you know what? Oop. And I never had allergies again, not cat allergies, not no allergies. And I was like, you know what? That is something. And I just took note of it. So then when I started to study honey and all the properties and all the different ways that honey worked in your body, I was like, oh my God, that's how I got rid of my allergy. Because I used to have it bad. Like I was in high school and kids used to be like, you smoke weed? I'm like, no, that's my allergies. It's my allergies. Stop it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So just those little things, we got to really learn how to pay attention to our body. And people don't take note of their body. They just go tell the doctor, like, oh, well, you know, this happened. But you need to realize, like, are you having an allergic reaction? Like when you gave your baby peanuts, did the baby's eyes swell up? So should you introduce it slowly? Because once you do build up a resistance to it, because I had a peanut allergy and I built up a resistance to peanuts. Now I can eat a Snicker. I just not going to eat peanuts like M&M peanuts, but I can have it wrapped in nougat and like hid or in ice cream or like some way because it does have a nutrient. It does have nutrients. It is a form of protein. So you just have to learn how to build up a resistance to
You
and
know,
a
it's funny.
tolerance.
Funny you mentioned that because I was did wildland firefighting for a couple years, and I was always constantly down in California. I was constantly out in poison oak fires, and I had it so bad for like the first couple years, and then I just got a tolerance to it, and now I mean I can't catch it now. Like I could go swimming in the stuff, and I can't catch it. So it's funny you said that. It's like yeah, I know exactly. You can build a tolerance to anything.
Right.
One thing I do want to say while we've got a good amount of people in here, no matter who you are buying tinctures from, glycerites from, um, you know, any of the things, even at the store, for goodness sakes, always do a skin patch test first because there are going to be herbs in there that you have never taken before. And you don't know if you have an allergy, and it's better to find out topically than once you take it internally.
100% agreed. And always know your sources too. I think that's a really big thing. And I think everybody on this currently on here, and I don't know two of you, but I know everybody else pretty well, and I've followed your pages and stuff like that. We all source our stuff really reputably. We either grow it, we source it really reputably. We work really hard to make sure that we have nothing but the best stuff out there for you. So just also be aware of where you're getting your stuff. Don't just assume because it's on a shelf at the store or somebody has it that it's being made properly or handled with care, or proper precautions are being taken. Make sure you watch those people when they're making their stuff and how they're making their stuff, so that you're really aware that you know that it's being done proper. And if you don't know if it's being done proper, always ask. We're all here to answer questions at any time. At least I know I'm always available via Messenger or email. I think everybody else on here is too. So if you ever have questions, just ask. And just know that we're not doctors, but we will tell you our life experiences, what our thoughts are, and let you kind of run with that information however you want.
And if we don't know, we will research or direct you to somebody who has more experience in that specific area.
That is right.
Absolutely. That's why when you start talking about tinctures, I said, no, that's not my lane. It's just not my lane. Like you have to know what's that song? Know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em, know when to run. I ain't got time.
Answers,
I
yeah.
don't. You gotta know when. Like this is my lane. I learned internal medicine. We work on tea. Like that's my thing. I don't even want to even call it medicine. I just want to call it tea, because I feel like when you call it medicine instead of food, that's when they start trying to regulate it.
Right.
I don't want them to regulate it. I want them to say, "Oh, that's a food. That's a plant. That's natural. It's growing in the sidewalk." I don't want them to put restrictions on it, and then you have to go to the FDA and this and this and that. Like we source from Penn Herbs. One, I do because it's a local supplier to us, but it's a big supplier. Like they source all over. So even if y'all wanted to go to Penn Herbs, I don't have them in my link tree, and I should, but anybody could go to the same supplier as me and get the herbs. It's just I specialize in tea blends, and then when people come to me, I just have knowledge that other people may or may not have. So when I teach, like, oh, you have to check your blood test, it's because I had to sit there and check my blood test, and then you know what? It took me months and months and months. Like, why isn't it working out for me? But then this person with asthma said this happened, or this person said it happened. So my experience is like twofold. Yes, I was a patient, and then I was trained by the doctors who wanted me to communicate with their patients. So I have been through the little wars on TikTok and all that stuff, and people would think like, oh, well, you're mean because you said this, or you came at this person. But really, that's my advocacy, because the doctor's office, when I worked for Aetna used to have me call and fuss out the doctors for running scams on people. Like, oh, you billing this Miss Susan up, or she doesn't know how to explain her blood test. And most people don't know how to read their blood test. The doctor told them, oh, you sick. You got anemia. What that mean? I'm cold. Most people, as soon as they say anemia, I'm cold. I do be cold. I like to chew on ice. Like, it's more than that. That literally means that your organs are going to fail. That's like depriving your body of oxygen. And then it's something so simple like basic children's knowledge of what is it called? Y'all got me feeling all tingly inside. But like photosynthesis. Do you see what I'm saying? Like basic knowledge of photosynthesis. When you realize like, oh, the plants, they are that oxygen that we need, not just what we breathe in. Because if you could just take a deep breath and fix your blood, everybody would be fine. Everybody would be fine. If you could take a deep breath and get all the oxygen that you need, if you could just drink a glass of water, then there would be no reason for tea. So the tea, like the plants are giving up their essence, they're giving up their lives, they're a living sacrifice, they're at your service. So when somebody has a knowledge of herbs, like even when they call it a kitchen witch, it's your aunt that could cook really, really good. Like she knows what she's doing with the oregano. Her red sauce is better than your mom's red sauce because she's using all the stuff, the basil, she's using oregano, she's using all the stuff. That's what makes her a wizard in the kitchen. And I feel like people just be taking it way too far sometimes. And I feel like everybody should know. You know what I'm saying? If it's the same thing if you was a math wizard, you're fluent in how to make poetry with the food. That's how I look at it. So I don't know. I just wish that more people looked at it like that.
I agree. I agree.
Yep.
And I think we should share our knowledge, and I think it's important. And I think that's why we do these, because we can share.
Right. This is exactly why this is here. Hey, Knowledge, how you doing, brother? Good to have you in here.
Happy to be here. Appreciate you being having me.
Hey, always, man. You're always welcome. Knowledge, you know everyone here. This is Timber, Angie, Myra, uh,
Andy.
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 Yes.
Well, my name's Justin. Nice to meet you all. And
Hello,
definitely
Justin.
loving this conversation. Yeah, a lot should be taken into account when it comes to what the plants contribute to our bodies. You know, obviously there's the essence, there's, you know, the essential oils that are in all plants that we get. You get it when you consume the oils. It's not only from distilling the oils that you get it when you consume the plant as well, but also the nutrients. That's one of the biggest things I feel like is, you know, the nutritional compounds offered in a lot of these plants. You know, you consider, say, like moringa, for instance. You know, moringa, you know, contributes magnesium, calcium. It contributes zinc. There's also some, you know, B vitamins. I'm pretty sure there's carotenoids in that as well. And, you know, you're talking chlorophyll. There's chlorophyll in the moringa as well. And so, I mean, you know, these superfoods, man, you know, things that are nutrient dense, that are going to, you know, contribute well to your body and contribute to your overall bodily processes. Our bodies are constantly reconditioning themselves. And so if you feed it well to do so, it'll do that better and give it better nutrients, and, you know, keep the toxins to a minimum as much as you can, and, you know, do cleanses every now and then, because we all get exposed to toxins.
Exactly. I mean, a lot of people this time of year, every dandelion out there, it is filled with potassium, vitamin K, calcium. It is just a wonderful, wonderful herb for the liver. And if, you know, a lot of people experience swelling and inflammation, especially when it starts getting warmer out. And it's a great diuretic. Add some lemon juice to that, real lemon juice from a lemon, and drink that. It'd be great. Even though if you are on blood thinners, that's something you want to be mindful of because it does have a high content of vitamin K, and that is what helps clot the blood, and that's something you wouldn't want, but it's very, very beneficial.
Yeah, dandelion's great. That's also another good source of carotenoids, and also has like B vitamins. Dandelion, in a lot of ways, is almost like a multivitamin. It's crazy. Yeah, the liver cleansing compounds, an impressive herb. I've had a lot of good success with artemisinin in my practice, and that's generally what I like to put people toward, that and black seed oil, especially, you know, during cold and flu season. But yeah, like as you can see, like Monica down in the comments, like some of my people, you know, definitely prefer dandelion. And we've, you know, I actually wrote a formula that included dandelion root and leaf, because, you know, you got to make sure that you're getting the right parts of the plant. Dandelion root is really high in carotenoid content. It really is high in some, you know, other good compounds and nutritional compounds that are really good. But if you're looking for quercenoid content, you really want to get the leaf. And that's what's going to have those strong, you know, properties that are going to overall, you know, improve your immune system, improve cardiovascular health. Really good for like people with autoimmune conditions. Quercetin is, you know, is a godsend. I mean, it's an amazing thing.
You know, I snack on dandelion every once in a while. I think that I like the taste of it too. I thought I was weird for just like grabbing a leaf out of the lawn, you know, not at the front lawn and nothing like that, but out in the woods and stuff. I'll just grab a hunk of it and eat it. Thought I was weird, but guess not.
You can buy it. Like they sell it for salads and everything. Like they sell it. It's usually in the market.
Oh, I live out in the
Nice.
forest. It's everywhere out here.
Dandelion even has some caffeine in it.
Yep. And last week, where science meets nature, is that his?
Yeah.
Tracy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were
You see-
talking about how dandelion root and well, parts of the dandelion has a really high SPF, and if you put it in solves or in sunscreen, it actually will protect your skin. So it's not just internally, but it's also really great externally. We
So
talked about a couple weeks ago.
I just wanted to say, like, when I first started TikTok, I wasn't even like talking about herbs, right? I had wrote in my book, and when I was doing my research on dandelion, I had researched about the Monsanto thing, right? So when I first started TikTok, I had did this video talking about how Monsanto had us spraying our dandelions. And then when you
Right.
think about it, the connection that I made was because one of my friends, his son played softball, excuse me, and he got cancer. And I was like, wait, they got a spray in the ground with this medication, and now everybody got lymphoma. So I just wrote about it in my little book, like, you know what? I'm going to write about that and make the connection, not thinking, oh, you just say something on TikTok and that thing's going to go, pew. Like everybody was talking about it. And I was like, what? If I didn't write it down, I would have never thought like something could go so viral so fast just talking about something or just writing something that you notice, because run into the guy so often now, and his son actually made it, but I was giving him little containers with black seed honey and apricot seeds. So he was ringing the bell and they was trying to figure out how he was getting out of chemo so fast. But then I'm gonna let y'all talk.
You know, speaking of chemo, you know,
Go ahead.
mistletoe. A lot of people are very, you know, say, oh my God, it's poisonous, blah, blah, blah. And they talk about the American mistletoe, which the European mistletoe is actually used in Germany. There are 8 medications that are made out of mistletoe, and they use them to fight cancer. So definitely keep that in the back of your mind.
Hey, Dizzy.
I like dandelion root for warts too and skin ailments, like the actual juices from dandelion.
Yeah. All kinds of parts. Hey, Crystal, how are you, man? How are you feeling today?
I'm
You good?
hanging in. I'm good. It's a good day.
Good. Good to hear. If some of you seen Crystal Graham in my live, I had her. We were talking about unschooling, or and if you don't know, her, this is Kimber, Angie at All Right Time to Heal, Myra, who's Pirate Meds, Andy Center, and then I have Justin and Knowledge. So we're all just in here brainstorming and just talking and sharing stories and stuff like that, answering questions of the audience. Crystal, tell us if none of you know Crystal or follow Crystal, tell us about you.
Hey, I'm Crystal, and what a great time to be alive. I'm a semi-empty nester. We unschool. We live in a very small town in Texas. I have been diagnosed with 2 types of Lyme disease. I'm getting ready to go to Mexico for treatment in Acuna at the Hope Wellness Clinic. I just found out today. I talked to the center coordinator, and we don't even need the follow-up labs. Like, he's ready for us to get started. I am getting SOTs from Germany. I'm really anxious. I'm kind of excited. I don't know. I've been on this journey for like 3 to 4 years, but I don't know. I think I woke up like 10 years ago, and I live in a really small town, so I didn't really think to broaden my aspect from that point until I got really sick. And now this is the version everybody gets to see, is life with Lyme disease, and it sucks.
You mentioned something, SOT. I'm sorry to interrupt, but what is that? I'm sorry, I don't know what those are.
Okay, so SOT, and it has a really long name. So basically what they're going to do is they're going to grab my blood when I get there. They send it to Greece, and in Greece they take the spirochetes and everything that show up from Lyme disease will be in my blood, obviously. So basically they go in and they make whatever whatever you want to call it, to put back into me, that's going to basically not allow the spirochetes to keep doing what they're doing. It will essentially just end their life cycle. And I've heard that it takes up to 6 months. I tested positive for 2 types of Lyme. So I'll be getting an SOT on Borrelia, Burgdorferi, I don't know all the terms. My brain is not there right now. And the other is most common in the homeless. That's the second type of Lyme disease I have, and I promise you guys that I live in a home. And then I have EBV. So that's another SOT that'll be drawn at a later date because they want my body to be able to accept all the treatment for the 2 Lymes before we do the EBV.
It's called
Okay.
supportive all canotide therapy, and I was born and raised in Germany. It's invented out there, and they do a whole switch around of your cells, and it's, from what I've heard, it's really, really cool. And I hear some amazing things results that comes with it. So I wish you nothing but the best of luck.
Well, please take us on your journey.
I'm
So
going.
that we
Girl,
can
you know
see.
I'm going to. I have to. I have been on this journey, and like I follow all of you guys. So I started with supplementation, and I tried a lot of detox. Like I really tried detoxing, but I couldn't. My body wouldn't allow it, and I kept running into roadblocks. And so it didn't matter what I tried. I've supplemented, I've worked on my lymphatic system, I've done tinctures, I've done herbs, but I have mast cell. And when I say like my lip swells up to the point where I'm unrecognizable when that stuff happens.
I sure wish you well, and I have many, many prayers for you. But girl, make sure you take us along with you.
You're
I'm
going to
interested
see it
in it.
all. I promise. All the way down to the lab draws. I'm excited. The naturopath I'm using, his name is Steve Hines. He's out of San Angelo, Texas. He has a book out. He's amazing. I'm so blessed that I have followed all of you guys and watched some of y'all stuff, and I'm just glad to be on this journey. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah.
Do you think it initially started from like a bite, or like how do you think it started?
I've been sick like for my whole life with random illnesses, like just stuff that is not your normal quote unquote. I would go to the doctor with splotches everywhere and they'd be like, "Oh, you have an infection." Okay. I went one time, my muscle felt like it was falling off the bone, and I did have a bullseye rash. Like, I did have one. But that was so many years ago that I don't even remember. I was treated with antibiotics, 1 round. I know that.
Hey guys, if you are vaping or
Do you
can you
have like a
turn off your
PO
camera?
box on your
Me?
page?
I don't know if it's listed on my page. You can DM me.
I will DM you. So if I DM you, maybe I could send you some propolis, and you could like take it and look at your blood test to see if it helped reduce the amount of white blood cells or anything like that. But I'll just send it to you. But I think it'll just be worth a try since you're going within the next. You said 6 months, right?
Yeah, well, so the SOT is good for 6 months. So
Okay.
I'm getting ready to leave. We're set to leave and start treatment on Monday, and then I will be there for a month. And during that month, I'll be getting a lot of minerals, a lot of vitamins back into my system, a lot of just putting more fluid back into me, because no matter what I do, I can't hold vitamins, I can't hold minerals. I'm always depleted. I have anemia. I was diagnosed with lupus, OA, RA, and so I've been through the ringer. Like if you guys have ever heard of it, I was diagnosed with it. Oh, Cassie, the name of the doctor was Steve Hines.
Well, I'm gonna make sure I DM you just so I can maybe send you a package, and then when you get home while you're healing, you could like try your teas or however you like it, and you could just keep us posted because I'm interested in you. I'm
Absolutely.
invested now. I'm invested, fully invested.
Have you tried
Absolutely.
salt, Crystal? Have you tried Celtic salt in your
I
body?
have, yes, I'm on it. I started that a while back, and I have to kind of giggle because, a lot of people were like, oh no, I'm not going to get that from them because of iron or like it's saying they're testing bad for this, this, and this. When I started with the Celtic, Dr. Steve Hines is the one that was like, keep taking it. That's the
Yeah.
one you need. Keep taking it.
And it comes from the Gray region of France, and it's
Right.
not mined like Himalayan salt and some of our other salts. It's raked out of the oceans and the seas, so it's done completely differently. So the mineral content's going to be a little different. When you said you were having issues with minerals and water and being able to retain your water and stuff, that's the first thing I thought of. So I thought I ask. So great. I think that's awesome.
Right? It's so different, right? So that's my whole thing is I'm like, I take all of that. I've done magnesium. I've supplemented with so many good things, but I still it's almost like I have more issues.
Do you take magnesium orally or topically?
All of it.
All of it.
I have it in a lotion. I have it in a spray. I take it orally, but it's like,
what kind of magnesium it is, because that's going to make a difference based off the magnesium content too. And I specialize personally. I do a ton of stuff with magnesium, like within the apothecary. The type of magnesium you use is also going to be the type of absorption and stuff and what your body needs. And
right.
so there's different types of magnesium that have different benefits.
Well, so I know the topical and the spray is from Roots of Healing that's here on TikTok, and the Happy Hippie, the Wholesome Hippie, that's their name. So that's the lotion and the spray I use. And then the one I take, the magnesium right now I'm taking is by Triquerta. And it's like they're all in one.
Or is it magnesium glycinite? Because there's so many different magnesiums in products that have.
I want to take glycinate. I don't know. See, that's the whole thing. So usually people are like, oh, well, with magnesium, I go to the restroom with no problem. Y'all, if TMI, but I'm telling y'all right now, I have the biggest issues of God, like known to man. Like it's so bad.
Fiber.
It's not a thing.
Fiber. Fruits and vegetables should help with that, because we're going to share too much about me too. I used to have a ton of problems using the bathroom, and when I increased my fruit and vegetable intake, that all went away.
I've been stuck on watermelon right now. You guys, I'm addicted to watermelon.
Right.
So taking the right form of magnesium, it's like you definitely want to take bioavailability into account. And so I like where Lock and Key is going with this. Some of the magnesium blends, they'll be cut with like oxide or citrate, and those just aren't very bioavailable.
Right.
You're looking at more of like a laxative type effect when you use those. But if you're looking, if you take like a magnesium glycinate, magnesium malate, magnesium taurate, magnesium L-threonate is really good as well. That's more of like a brain magnesium, good for people with neurological conditions, things like that. Those are, the things that really make a big difference for a lot of people. And then also too, another thing, if you're irregular, is you may be dealing with a malcolonization of probiotic bacterium in your intestines. And so, getting onto like a good probiotic would not be a bad idea. Also, having a good probiotic in your diet usually improves vitamin and mineral absorption as well. And so those are some other things to take into account when it comes to your health.
Thanks.
Thank you.
I watch you all the time, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
Such a fan.
I love what I do. I'm just like, I've been busy. Like, I'm just kind of like working on my own life right now. And so like, I love everybody and I miss doing this. I definitely want to do it more often. Just, sometimes you gotta, take some time and take care of yourself for a little bit. And, that's how I'm doing for me at this point.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is definitely my true passion. And I see that a lot of people, when they first come into the, doing supplements or doing herbs or anything like that, they'll get stuff and, it's like if it doesn't give the effect that they're looking for, they might kind of like, they might be out on it. They might, say, oh, I, wasted my money, what have you and everything. And I think good instruction and good information to begin with makes all the difference in the world. You know, research obviously helps. I mean, a lot of time I would definitely do a whole bunch of reading and research before I just go and get a supplement or get something like that, or pick up a herb from a shop or what have you.
Absolutely.
And I think, you know, really what made me kind of like, you know, what I am on this app is showing people my process is, you know, this is what I do before I go to buy a supplement, before I go to buy a herb. Like, I research the hell out of it. I, you know, find the history on it. I'm really big into the work of like ancient and medieval practitioners. And so I like to go to those books. They're old. Nobody cares about them anymore except me. But you know what? That's where the best information is. And so, and I love reading them. They're kind of, when you read some of them, they're kind of hard to understand. And there's different words for the herbs. So, so you got to like learn the different words for the herbs and stuff that they use, kind of like old timey and all that. But I love that stuff anyway. I've commonly told people that I feel like I was born in the wrong time. Like, you know, I definitely love the old timey stuff, and herbalism definitely has kind of opened my mind to a lot of what's available, especially you get into, you know, religious texts of, you know, different cultures all around the world, you know, will give credit to different herbs, and you'll see them in like the mixtures, like the religious mixtures and things like that. It's just, there's a credit to it all around the world, and people seem to understand it. Have y'all ever heard of the doctrine of signatures before?
No.
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 Yeah.
So like, you know how like you've probably seen those memes where it's like a carrot is shaped like an eye, you know, where you'll see like, you know, kidney beans are shaped like kidneys, and it's just like different
One leaf
things.
shaped like the lung, and like lion's mane shaped like looks like a brain.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, so yellowing flowers like dandelion treat jaundice and help with liver problems and things like that. So it's like, you know, like this doctrine of signatures seems to be understood, you know, generally by society, but nobody knows like the original idea of it. And it's a work that was written, gosh, I can't remember exactly when it was written, but it was like the 1800s, I think. But basically it, like this young man kind of like pieced it all together and went over like all the different, you know, types of plants and what all their uses are, you know, and how to identify them from outward appearance, what they might, you know, benefit in the body. And it's actually a very amazing work. It's been a while since I've read it. I'll have to find that again and see if I can share that source.
Yeah, I do
But
remember that. I think it actually started with the Indians, but I also enjoy reading old books, pharmacopoeias from the 1800s. Some of the most interesting things I have found in there, for example, tinnitus. Creeping Charlie back in the 1800s was used for tinnitus. And I just find that so interesting. And also, the doctors had to know how to make the medicine. They didn't have pharmacists. So the doctors themselves were so knowledgeable, which we don't see that a lot today. Today, you just have the pharmacy companies going into the doctor's office and pitching their drug and, you know, hey, this is great for this and this and that. If you really want to know about the drug and the contraindications, you go to the pharmacist. Whereas back in the day, they knew everything.
you're speaking my language. I actually,
Right.
yeah, I've said that so many times in my content, like how the doctors of today are nothing compared to the ones of old. That, you know, it's like you run out of medicine, you're basically screwed these days, right? Whereas like the doctors of old, they would go out into the woods and they'd make you a medicine. They'd figure out, you know, it's like you got something around your house. There's something here that we can make happen to help you and fix you.
Well,
And
before
Pirate.
it's
even
a monetized society though.
before there was even doctors, though, think about who made all of that medicine. You go back to early Norris times, and it was the women of the village that healed the men and made the soups and made the poultice and all of that kind of stuff. And at the end of the day, that's where it usually started. It was the females that took care of all of the tribes and made sure everybody was safe, and all of the children, along with being warriors, you know, in the battlefield. And I don't think that a lot of people think of it in that sense.
I think you're right. And it's funny that you say that because my favorite like old school practitioner is a woman. In my mind, I kind of deify her. Like I want to be like her in so many ways. She's just, if you never heard of Hildegard of Bingen, she wrote some amazing works. I mean, so she wrote, it's The work is called Physica, but it's actually a compilation of her works where she goes into like plants, the uses of plants, animals, and, you know, different types of biles, all kinds of stuff. I mean, it's an amazing work. It's so detailed. And basically any herb or anything that you want to learn like a little bit about what it does in the body, she explains it. Now, like I said, this is one of the ones that's hard to read. She explains things kind of old timey, but if you understand, like, one thing to help you learn a lot of these terms, understand these terms, is to study Eastern medicine. And that way, when you're coming across, you know, you're reading something and they're saying, oh, this is hot, it's like, well, that means it produces heat in the body. You know, this is cold, well, that, you know, means it takes away heat from the body. You know, and then, you know, there's like moist, you know, and so this is going to add moisture to the body. Then there's dry things that, you know, take things out. Sour, which, you know, is credited with, you know, a lot of times credited with, you know, increasing bile production and liver activity, things like that. So it's like studying these things really gives you an edge as far as understanding these texts. I know it takes a little while, y'all, you know, to kind of like learn all the weird old timey terms, but I feel like it's worth it if you are the type to dig through those types of works.
And if you can get a good background dialect or even understanding of Nordic text or even old Germanic text, shifting through those language barriers is a little easier. I'm thankful that I grew up in Germany, so some of those texts are a little easier for me to understand and translate and read. But yeah, she's amazing. She grew up in Germany, actually.
Yeah, she was a Benedictine nun who was German in heritage, and yeah, definitely respectable. And yeah, so what you were saying also about the females of the village making the medicine and Nordic culture, was it not it was like the priesthood, right? Weren't they like priestesses or of the like? I'm pretty sure it was something like that.
It depends on how you read the text too. A lot of times in the depictions, it was, you know, Freya or Hecate, even as you get into more of the Old Norse stuff, it was a lot of times the gods that helped with all of that stuff. And my Norse paganism is not text is not all that well versed, but I will say from everything I've ever read, it is usually the women of the village. It's not necessarily a priest or a high priestess. I think that's stuff that we see a lot on like TV shows. Oh, it was the priest that did it. It was the priestess that did it. But if you really look back into old text, it was the women of the village that did all of that. They not only gave birth, but they healed in the battlefield. They are the ones who knew the spells, and a lot of times they got them from the seers. If we want to look really far back into that, where did they learn it from? They learned it from the seers who predicted all of the things.
We're also talking a very spiritual.
Yes.
We're talking about a very spiritual people here. That it's like everything they do is guided by the gods. You
Yeah,
know,
the
it's
whole
like
gods.
everything is. You know, a lot of them would have like a certain god or two that they chose. That's who I'm looking for extra favor from.
Yep.
And you know, that's more of what they exhibited in their life. And you know, and see, their culture, it's different, because in our culture we always understand it as we choose our gods, but actually in Nordic culture it's not the same. The gods choose you, despite what you do, despite what ceremonies you perform. It is the characterization of a person. That's what they choose them based off of. Which I actually really find that conceptualization of religion to be very, very beautiful and very, very real, very raw.
Yeah, the Era is usually what the Norse god of healing would have been called, and the Volva was the seer. But it's always interesting to me because it's all very old Germanic, and as you were talking about, you know, Germanic healer, it really goes back to all of that.
Do y'all remember in American Gods how they had that one chick? Her name was Demeter. Did anybody see that? Her name was Demeter, and she was like over the herbs, but also they had her locked away in like a loony bin. Y'all never seen that show? Have you ever seen that show from
Yeah.
the farms?
Yeah.
And you know, Mr. Wednesday, he's like, because y'all talk about the gods. Of course, y'all know I believe in Yah. So any other guys I don't even address. But since we talk about this, Mr. Wednesday, he was like, the all father, and then he was in connection with all the other gods. So he had a god over everything. He had a god over meat, he had a god over guns, he had a god over every region. He like Ishtar, she was Easter, she was over like floral stuff and stuff. But then Demeter, she was over medicinal stuff, and they had her locked away in the loony bin. And it just goes to show you how you use the herbs, and they can change your mood. Like cinnamon changes your mood, and nutmeg changes your mood. But I feel like if you read into the Bible, you find those very same things too. But everybody has their different swing. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people come to me, they be like, I like you because you explain the Bible. So I understand that it's going to be people who are going to come and they're going to want to hear exactly what y'all saying, because not everybody wants to hear it how I'm telling it. You know what I'm saying? So I just respect it. But what y'all was saying reminded me of that little clip from American Gods where he had that one girlfriend. She didn't even want to play, and her name was Demeter, and she was over top of like pharmaceuticals and how people use herbs as pharmacy. So yeah. Okay, back to what y'all was saying. Sorry.
No, that's good. I think it's great that we all have different perspectives on religion too, because it doesn't necessarily mean one religion is better or right versus another, and people come to all of us for different reasons. So I think that's really great. But I've never seen the show. You should type it in here because everybody's asking me what the name of that show is, and I've never even heard of it. So
Yeah, you should make sure you type that. And
Yeah.
the other thing too is like, although like I do have my faith in the book as well, I also honor the cultures of my ancestors. I also honor that we came from somewhere. I also honor all culture. I think all culture is beautiful. All humans are beautiful. And when you really study the different types, the different cultures, the different shades, all these other things, you find that in a lot of ways we're really all the same. We all want the same things. We all desire the same things. We all need to be cared for. We all need to be loved. We all need something real that that we actually feel like we're contributing something, or that we're making something of ourselves. And a good support system, the basic necessities, food, shelter. Every human needs these things. Hugs. We all need hugs, dude. And it's like it goes across every society. Everybody hugs each other. Everybody touches each other. It's like we're not that different.
Now, this is the craziest thing, right? When I was sick, I'm going to just put it into a perspective. When I was sick, and then I was looking for a scripture to stand on, because you got to meditate. Like a part of all healing is meditating and what you think, right? Because as a person thinks in their heart, that's what you bring to pass. Any idea or vision, you said it to yourself, then you wrote it down, or you said it to yourself, and then it came to pass. So it's as you think. So the scripture that I was led to meditate on is, he sent his word and healed them and delivered them from their destruction. Can you imagine that? Y'all get online every day and y'all talk to people and y'all tell people how to heal themselves. Some of us is doing it for free. That's sending a word and healing somebody and delivering them from their destruction. Like you getting up here and you telling somebody, yo, you don't realize that when you drink pineapple juice, that stops you from having constipation. That saves somebody's life, because do you know how many of these little kids is eating Takis and they got cancer of the bowels? Like that is literally a headline news right now, because the kids is drinking Kool-Aid pouches, eating Takis. They haven't had one vitamin since Gerber was in a jar for them. That was the last time they had a vegetable, because it's chicken nuggets and french fries. Everybody got chicken nuggets and french fries. Mom, you got to work a 9 to 5. She getting off the bus to get you. It's a terrible world because everybody's moving so fast. So the convenience is literally killing us.
Yeah,
Right?
it's also all the food dyes that they put in everything in this country.
Let's not
literally like
even
some
get
people.
into the endocrine disruptors that they put into our beauty products.
Yeah.
Oh,
I make all my own beauty products.
It's amazing
sorry, I stepped.
how the convenience is literally killing us. So you getting up online and you talking to people is sending a word and healing people. Like you changing people's minds and their perspectives about stuff. Like, yo, slow down just a little bit. Have a solid. Slow down a little bit. Drink some fruit juice. Is that juice 100% juice, or is that a great drink? Like, just making those little conscious decisions, because when you think about it, the kids from 14 to 19 have colon cancer.
That's why we need to go back to our roots.
Yep.
Why I push on my page, learn to can. This time of year when fruits and vegetables are in abundance, learn how to can that, the juices, the apple juices, the cherry juices, the grape juices, all the things, can your own vegetables so that you know what you're putting in your body, in your cabinet. You've made it. It's 100% pure. Learn how to make your own toothpaste. Learn how to make your own deodorant. Learn how to make your own soaps, your shampoo, your body wash. It's so simple. But again, it's convenience. But what happens one day with what is going on in our world and our supply chain starts being disrupted, and we cannot get the things at the grocery store that we become dependent upon? It's time to be able to learn to make those things, because it's the best route for us overall and our children, because those endocrine disruptors can mess with your ability of fertility, illnesses, cancers. I mean, let's not even talk about the food. Do you know they put glyphosate on everything that we eat? And do you know glyphosate, the company that invented it, also has a patent? You can Google this. It is patented for an antibiotic. I wondered why I had antibiotic resistance. It's because I love bread. I was eating a lot of wheat bread. Well, I had to have an emergency surgery, and I got an infection that just about killed me for 8 months. Had to go into the emergency room twice a week to get IV antibiotics plus oral antibiotics. They had to keep the wound open. I had to go in the doctor's office twice a week so they could remove skin, because your body naturally wants to heal from the outside in to protect it. They wanted it open. So they're scraping off skin. It was horrible. And there's so much antibiotic. And I was never a big antibiotic person before then. It was the crap that they're putting in our foods.
Yep. Make your own bread if you can. And if you don't know how, I'm sure there's at least one of us on here that knows how to do each one of those things that she said. I pressure can, I water bathe, I know how to make bread, lotion recipes, deodorants. I know Anya does, Naira does. Like, we're always here to help. And I know a lot of us do lives with all of that stuff too. And there's a ton of research on the internet available too. But if you can do it yourself, do it. And if you can't do it yourself, learn or get it from somebody who knows how to do it and that you trust. Because there's some people that don't want to do all of the work in making all of those things too, and I respect that. So if you don't want to do it, at least get it from somebody you trust.
Exactly. Go to farmers markets. I mean, I know everybody can't grow a garden, but there's farmers nearby. Go to them. Talk to the farmers. If you ask a farmer, hey, what do you fertilize with? If they are natural, they're going to be proud to share.
I fertilize with eggshells from my chickens, and I fertilize from their compost, from their coop, their poop. That's what we fertilize with.
I live in Philly, and my mom grew watermelons. My mom grew cucumbers last year. We're growing cabbage in a little small teeny backyard. People grow stuff in their little apartments. Like, people have bees on top of apartments in New York. That's when they had that little fire. Those bees ran from the smoke. So it's what you can imagine. Like, if you think you can do it, you can do it. And then if you just go out and do it, it's not like you have to come back and make the seeds grow. Just plant them and walk away. just plant them. The atmosphere will do the rest. Like, and how do you get seeds? Every time you slice into a piece of fruit, you got some seeds coming. Every time you slice into that tomato, like, I literally this year grew my peppers from the peppers that I sliced into my green onions. I put them in the window and put some water. Now they're growing. So now you got something that's reproducing. And I done snapped off of them for about 6 or 7 meals already. because I done stir fry even my chicken that I just made. That was in there. So you just be surprised. Even my little lettuce, I put those in a little planter and regrow them too. So you can do it. It's just doing it. That's all.
I'll tell you, it is so rewarding to go into your cabinet, grab that homemade tomato sauce that you made with the tomatoes you grew or the tomatoes you got from a farmer's market, and you have the fresh basil and the fresh garlic. I mean, there you can make your own. And you mentioned cabbage, Naya. You know, ferment, make your own sauerkraut. You know, that is so good for the gut. So good, especially don't cook it, eat it raw. It's best that way for the gut.
I love me some sauerkraut. Give me some sauerkraut and brats all day long.
So
All day
you can
long.
take cherry seeds and you crack the outer shell off of it, put the cherry seed in some water with uh, the soft part of it, soak it for 2 days, put it in a bowl with some wet, damp paper towel, put it in, put a lid on it. It will sprout and you can grow your cherry trees.
I actually saw a creator here on TikTok. I don't know if anybody else has seen this. I haven't investigated or reached out to them to find out more about their plants, but they have patio trees. Like you, they have these pear trees that are dwarfs, I
Oh, the
guess.
miniature fruit
Yeah,
trees?
they're like miniature and they guarantee a yield, a harvest the first year. And I thought, well, that's interesting, but what did you do to it? How did you, it kind of made me nervous.
So basically what they did is they mixed them with a smaller tree to keep the size down, and they were able to bring the tree size down so people can grow fruit on their own patios. I have a friend who has some of them. They watched them do it.
That's interesting. That's
So the
interesting.
tallest that one of those miniature trees get is only 6 feet.
Yeah, they were advertising it's good for container gardening because, as Nye had mentioned, they people grow things in the city and on their balconies. So, I've seen neighbors grow things in containers on their totes and things like that in their yard. It's a possibility.
So Jedi,
Not a
thanks
whole
for
lot.
those.
Listen, I just planted my little plants. I did a little video. Me and my mom. Once my mom did it, the neighbors, her birthday just passed. The neighbors bought her new plants for this year. So it literally will start a movement. I'm telling you, like people are not like you think, oh, your garden should just be some little rose bushes or whatever. Like it doesn't have to be that. You can take your little space and you can make it. I advise it because with everything going on in the world right now, you better have something. You better have some rice somewhere. You better have something. You better be thinking forward just a little bit. And I don't think it's money is going to be it. Like you're going to have something.
Yep,
So
you're going to have that honey, girl. You're going for medicine. You're going to have the herbs for medicine, the onion, the garlic, that fire cider that you've put such goodness in and let it ferment so that it keeps your immune system to par. It's those things right there that are natural and it has a long shelf life that let's think about last year. People with asthma couldn't even get Adderall, not Adderall, albuterol. And they were having to resort to so many things. Thank goodness there are herbs out there such as osha root and long pepper and lungwort and mullein, that they could try to utilize. But it is tough, and you've got to have those contingency plans because you never know.
I have asthma, and what kept my lungs open was flaxseed oil.
whoop whoop whoop. I'm sorry. I had to. I had. But wait, my contingency plan, and I'm telling you, it worked. In my backyard, right? I lived next door to my mom for a little bit. Like I had an apartment over there, and I was throwing potatoes that had eyes in the backyard. I was just throwing them. So my mom said there was some plants. They were like purple tops, and it was like purple. They were sticking up out your backyard. I said, "Oh, the potatoes are growing." So that was my contingency plan, just in case anything happened. I knew I was gonna have me some potatoes growing in my backyard. And just to know that the potatoes are actually over there growing, that was just nice enough for me. But
We have like 6 bins of potatoes growing.
It's my. Oh, sorry. I was talking to. Did you mute? What happened?
Yeah, black seed oil is amazing. We've had really good success with it, like as far as me and my following and all. And I've had really good success with it personally. It's definitely a good cleanser, very warm, pretty strong, can contribute some, like terpenoid type compounds that fight, several different types of infections and, very effective for improving several different processes in the body. So it's like black seed oil is definitely one of those things that it's a godsend. It's pretty awesome. That's actually that artemisinins and dandelion have kind of been my favorites traditionally, for like people getting sick and stuff like that. But not every herb is for everyone. I can't remember who said it earlier. I think it was Time to Heal that said like definitely make sure you spot test herbs and and tinctures, things like that. So, but I wanted to go ahead and probably call it a night. I got to be up pretty early in the morning, and but hey, appreciate you having me from them farms, and
Thank you, brother.
yeah, all of my people that are in the room, definitely make sure you give this guy a follow. I mean, more than welcome to follow everyone here, but definitely give this guy a follow, please. Love what he does here, and for anyone who doesn't know what he does here and new to him, he promotes good people who are trying to make a difference in the world, whether it be the farming stuff and everything, growing your own food, growing your own herbs, and also too likely as well health and wellness stuff. He does seem to be very intrigued in that and sharing a little bit of good information as well on that, especially when it comes to moringa. This dude is like the specialist for moringa. He knows moringa in and out. So, yeah, love what you do on the app, sir. Thank you very much for what you contribute to this world.
And keep doing what you're doing, brother. Thanks.
Likewise, and same to everyone in this room. Y'all are all awesome. Pirate Meds, good to see you on my main. I think I've seen you on my other accounts, but yeah, good to be with you tonight. And Time, you struck me. Like you're awesome. Thank you.
It was nice meeting you.
Fucking Jedi, that cherry thing, that was pretty cool, dude. So.
Well, look into it. You can definitely grow your own cherry trees, and cherries have a lot of benefits to them.
That's awesome. Love you,
Thank you, Knowledge.
Love all y'all. I'm out of here.
Be safe.
Likewise.
Be safe. Yep. Thank you. Yes. Hey, I want to give a quick thank you to everyone in the chat. You guys are awesome for the support, not only to me, but a guest. You guys, we all a big family here. We all follow each other and we all help each other out. We support. That's what we're about. I do this for you guys, and Time and everyone who comes in this panel. They do this strictly out of the time. They, I think I see more than me or Jedi and Pirate Meds are probably about the same amount that I see them on this platform, just helping other people and just sharing knowledge. And I swear that like she lives in her office just doing this, but and that's good. That's if because they're always blocking or shutting us down. So one of us are at least on here still helping each other and helping others, and we gotta keep doing this, and so much knowledge and stuff that was being shared today and passed out People enjoy that, and they maybe a lot of them, a lot of my in chat are very knowledgeable, and they hear something. Oh wow, I didn't know that. Oh hey, that's interesting. And we're always learning. Like I learned so much, and I've learned so much not through only through Angie, but Pirate Meds, Jedi, of course, brother got you, and knowledge. A lot of these people that I bring on here, who was in here earlier, he's going to be on. Couple Saturdays. I'm actually having a water guy coming on, one of my good friends. He's going to be talking about water. He's going to be talking about all kinds of stuff. You guys will really enjoy him. Really knowledgeable, health wise and stuff like that. Making a lot of changes. So a lot of the people I bring on here is for you guys. This is something you guys wanted, and I feel the benefits. Not only in my heart, but I see you guys are prospering for it. Just a lot of stuff. I mean, just keep doing what you're doing. I appreciate the likes, the gifts, everything. It shows support. You guys don't need to do that, but hey, we just all your gifts that you give me, and it just goes around. I just spread it to Angie, and Angie spreads it to me, and Pirate Meds. It just goes. So I love you all being here. Alma, hey, too bad you couldn't be in here.
On here. I'm going to hop off. Thank you, EJ. I appreciate it. It is nice to talk to you, Pirate Meds. Jedi, it's good meeting you. Hey, everybody in the chat, you guys are wonderful. Thank you for the gifts, the interaction. It's cool. I enjoy this. And I love learning from you guys, from the other people on here. Pirate Meds, I apologize if I stepped on you earlier. I didn't mean to do that. Sometimes I get a delay. But guys, have a good night.
Have a good night.
Bye, sis. She's stuck. Where's Pirate Meds? There she is. All right. Oh, no. All good.
I'm here. Listen, I almost left, right? And then something was like, scroll back. And when I scrolled back, you had sent the invitation. So I was like, oh, shoot. So I'm happy that you brought me in tonight because I probably was going to go watch my eyelids. Who knows? So I'm happy I got to tune in because that's what I like to know that other people are doing stuff, and I always hit repost. Like, that's my thing. If I scroll past somebody's stuff, I'm going to hit repost because you just never know who's going to go viral. And then that's how we change the algorithm. Like, if we hit repost on each other's videos, we'll bring the holistic stuff back up because one thing about it is we can tell our stuff and they can act like they don't see us, but then you'll see our products on the market, like Dimetapp and Robitussin and stuff. They start coming back out with honey products. They start coming out with Moringa this. They start coming out with little things like that. And then they try to knock you out the market. But if we supported each other, kept the algorithm going, there would be no way of denying us. Like, it would be that much. Because I start looking at it like, when you look at the financial news, Black Seed Oil, they are projecting that to be like a $33 billion business. I'm like, what? And y'all not talking about the people who working all hard to talk about it, so people know are aware to even want to buy it or whatever, or any other things that people are talking about. Like, you know what I'm saying? The people that's harvesting different plants, the foragers, like, they're not giving out credit where credit is due a lot of times, and I feel like that's why I get up every day and do what I gotta do.
What that is, we're advertising for, but they don't make it. They're not making all this. I guarantee no one has what Maya has. No one's going to produce the same quality as I have here. And they're fillers and all kinds of stuff. They make it for. We're just talking about today in our meeting. You can get moringa and some of this other stuff. They says, why is ours so high? Hey, we're growing here fresh. Not when they say, hey, we got fresh moringa. These other companies that are in Walmart and stuff, they're fresh. A year ago, or months ago, they're being shipped over here. Before they even ship over here, it's a good 2-3 months. Before that's after they, dried it for however long, got it in their warehouse, put it in their bag. It takes approximately almost 2 years to be shipped over here and fill these stores. So
I'm
when I
just saying, I don't want great value tater tots. I don't want great value butter. I dang on sure don't want great value moringa. That's
right,
all I'm saying. I
right,
I don't want nothing from great value. And that's literally one of the things that I wrote about in my book. Some stuff, it just needs to be like that's what a market is. It was before it was Walmart, it was the farmer's mart. It was the family mart. It was the local mart. It was our local exchange. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get back to that and trading amongst each other because that's how we,
24/7.
You know, I'm seeing a lot of bartering and trading coming back, and that's a good thing. I don't
Right.
think people realize how important that is. I live in a small town, population 750 people, and our community makes sure everybody is fed and they trade amongst each other, and that has made a huge impact on our community.
Yeah.
I don't think we realize how much we really do trade amongst each other. But when you think about it, I look at it like this. Even in the city, we get our hair done by each other. We make each other's prom dresses. We make each other's clothes. What is couture? Shopping with each other. You know what I'm saying? I think that when we get so wrapped up in what they're telling us, what they're advertising to us, that's where we get hurt so much. Like, oh, you know what? I have to have this type of clothing because I saw it going viral on that. No, now you're a walking billboard for somebody else. You know what I'm saying? I think word of mouth is probably the best way anyway. Just word of
Right.
mouth. And sometimes it's, we be thinking that we gotta do it all at one time, but I just say if we take it one day at a time, one person at a time, help one person probably gonna tell 4 people. And then them 4 people are gonna tell 4 more people, at least. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta take it one day at a time. I look at it like that. But with the whole healing thing, everybody need to teach this to their kids because if you don't teach your kids, the next generation suffers. If you just do it for them, if you don't teach your daughter how to cook and use herbs, she's going to suffer. She's going to suffer. She's not going to be able to have her baby. She's going to be having stillborn babies because you don't know, like, oh, you're really supposed to drink tea. Yes, you are.
Yep.
You really supposed to eat soup. Yes, you are.
Yep.
So
A lot of and that's the thing. A lot of us have different content and the way we put it out, but have the same goal and same frame in mind. She may announce it different or the way she says it, but we all agree with a lot of same concepts as we talked about earlier, or I think Knowledge was saying. You know, uh, we're all about the same thing. Like it can be political, religion, all that stuff can be. We A lot of that stuff we can not agree upon, but our food, our health, or water, we can agree on those things that we want, and we want to help each other in a certain way. I know a lot of people, they get caught up in this other stuff and they're worried about it, and then well, hey, if you do this or you wear that, I would never be around you. But they wouldn't know any of that if you're just standing on the street and you're a human. They don't know anything about you or anything like that. But for people to even have that mindset because of what's going on out there, and people get caught up and worried about unnecessary, in my opinion, stuff that has nothing to do with me or you the next day. If you understand that, if you, it's like
you know what? I feel
we,
like it's like this. At the market, right? They used to have the Silk Road back in the
right,
day. The Queen stopped the Silk Road, the whole Boston Tea Party, all that. Now, the Silk Road, when they used to trade, that's how everybody used to get exposed to everybody else's culture. You couldn't get spices unless you went on the Silk Road. So if you were a medical practitioner, you would have to send somebody over to the Silk Road so they can get certain spices, because they didn't grow all the stuff over here anyway. It had to be imported or exported. So I believe that it was God's intention for us all to meet up anyway, and for us all to see the necessity in each other. Like, the eye cannot say to the ear that it doesn't need each. Like, yeah, you do. You need to see what you heard. You need to be, you can't say to your teeth, oh, I don't need my teeth. You need your tooth. You need your tooth. You need your teeth. You need your arms. You need your hands. You need all the members, and we're all members of one body. Like, that's why I like to watch, the little war tactic shows where they show the KGB versus this mafia. Like, oh, their strength is this. Their strength is fighting in the cold. Their strength. I'll be like, we all God's little soldiers. Like, these my little warriors. These my little ants. They work like this. I love the way he thinks, because we all have strengths, but when we're like unified, it works. But when we're not, it doesn't.
Right. Something that she kind of brought up, and I want to touch on this because I've been seeing this a lot lately. A lot of people, actually, a conservative, Andy, who was in here earlier, actually did something on this, and they, or no, it was someone in that group. But anyways, their doctor's always telling us, like, hey, you don't need that. Hey, let me have surgery and cut that out. Hey, let me pull that tooth, or let me add this or whatever. And something that they were doing was telling couples that their child was going to be deformed or have spinal stiftica, and they were telling them to get in an abortion, and they went against it. They're like, hey, we're not going to do it. They decided on it, and the doctor says, hey, it's coming time. You're going to have to do this. You're going to have to do this. And was kept forcing them to do it. And when they said no, the doctors were very angry. And when they were born, they didn't have any issues. They didn't have no defects, nothing. To this day, they're still healthy and whatever, and never had any. But the doctors were telling them, hey, do it. Let me schedule it. And, so this is kind of the stuff they, in my other half always says, they're going to have to meet their time, when Judgment Day or whatever. But man, a lot of this stuff that they're doing is just, and we get blinded by it. And a lot of times we have to, and this goes back to you, Meds, and I always see you doing it, is you got to stick to what you believe, and you got to put your blinders on, and that's trust in yourself, trust in, your creator or whoever. You can't stray away from that, because all this deceive and all that other stuff is going. And that's what makes us strong. If we start to have doubt in anything, even making, teas, or, there's a story about the tea master. I'm sure you've heard that one. If not, I'll tell it sometime. But, once, you stray away from whatever you believe and not confident, people see that and they try to push you in different directions. So whatever it is, your health, your job, stay confident, your belief of whatever it is. Don't let other people, tell you otherwise. And don't just because you want to fit in, or, don't want to get yelled at, or, stick up for your, and, and that's what I didn't see a lot of people do, and they just didn't want to get, people looking at them wrong, or giving them dirty looks, or saying something to them, or, they didn't stick up for other people, which is, we got to come together as a community. It's not, us against each other. It's us against, the government, or, the stuff that they're doing. We got to, if we quit fighting with ourselves, we advance and progress so much better, taking care of each other and worrying about each other, other than what flag they're putting up, or, what color they're putting up, or who they're voting for. It's like, in my opinion, this is my opinion, we all have our differences, but let's take care of ourselves first. Number one, our health, and be able to take care of our family and neighbors. In my opinion, they always it's number one. If you're in bad health and can't take care of yourself, how are you going to help? How am I going to help Jedi? How am I going to help Pirate Meds? How am I going to help them if, I can go ahead and help them, but then, then, my family or whatever, I'm going to be losing. But, do what you can. I'm not saying, and that's why I have these things, and Pirate Meds and Jedi, you guys do what you do, is to reach those people that are supposed to be there, and like I said, if they're not coming to me, they're going to go to Pirate Meds. Not to coming to Pirate Meds, they're going to go to Jedi. It's everyone has a different way of taking down information, and it's good that we're not all uniform and all have the same ideas and stuff like that. It's totally good, knowledge saying, a lot of people love the black seed oil. I've never taken black seed oil, but I keep my jar of black seed right here with my honey. But and there's so many different things of just different stuff. But it's just I get people asked all the time, and then that's why there's so many different ways. There's powder, leaves, pills, take it raw, all this stuff. That when you're talking about cooking, that's why I love cooking so much, is because, man, I'm always coming up with stuff, man. I look in the when I go shopping and I go in the supermarket, I could spend hours in the spice aisle. Just, oh yeah, I can, and if you've ever been to with these world markets where they have different world markets and they have all the teas, I know you've probably been in something just like, oh my gosh, there's teas from Africa, from Brazil, from China, and man, it's I used to
That's what the Silk Road is all about. Like, can you imagine? Like, everybody came there to trade. It was like a world market.
right.
Everybody came there to trade. So this is why it's like the importance of TikTok, because everybody is here. You get to meet here, and people are from all over the world. And we, like, the information that we're sharing is going all over the world, whether we know it or not. Like, that 5,000 people that video showed to, they could be in the Philippines. They could be in Brazil. They could be, like, this is the new world market. The internet.
Yep. That's awesome. Yep,
It's
sure
amazing.
is. Yep. And it's like I said, and it's that way. Like, being on here, I run into people every day and running into them and stuff like that. But on here, I've connected with so many people that has so wide of knowledge. The herbalists that I had on today are just only a handful. But I kind of feel like I was telling my wife, man, I got a phone book and a list of emails and just connections of, like, I know I'm going to be okay if whatever. I got all kinds of herbalists, a list of them that I know if, shit hits the fan, I go, well, I got a whole list here and, spy list and herbalist and, all kinds of stuff. So, hey, welcome. And any questions? Thank you still for all being in here hanging out. Ashley, hey, I want to give a big shout out to Ashley. I was asking for some help, so I'm going to come out with some merch and stuff like that. And she readjusted my logo here so it could, whatever, I had it made, and then I tweaked it myself and probably messed it all up. But she reached out and been working hard to do this and spent her time and effort just kind of readjust my logo and stuff so I'd fit on the merch that I want to do. I was having issues. I'm not very technical. My technical skills, it's just not my forte. I'm a hands-on person, but sometimes it just takes a while. And she was able to, do that for me, and I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I already thanked her 1,000 times, and that's what we do. We, some people, and they'll do that. We'll help out each other, and not ask for anything in return, just out of the kindness. And that's what we knew when you guys were talking about trading. Yes, you're seeing a lot of that now. You're seeing a lot of that going on with Farm Fresh 24/7, Farmers App. A lot of these apps are coming out now. You got new social media apps that are coming out. I'm currently been asked to, kind of do this new social media app that's coming out. It's all the same. They all owned by the same freaking person. Who cares if it's different or whatever? But I'm stuff that they do to me over here. I did a post on it, and I'm sure this has happened to you. All the I'll post a photo or something. Everything that I just post, as soon as it hits or whatever, it's immediately a violation. It's not eligible for FYP or whatever. So I click on it, and sorry, we did that. Harm's mistake. It's back up. I'm like they did, but I was going back and checking. Hey, did this? And then sure enough, they went back like 5-6 videos, and did it to everyone. So then after that, they just kept doing it. Now they are not doing it. It stopped or whatever after I posted a video about it. And yeah, and a lot of people, and I made the videos so they'll gladly reestablish your video, but you still have points against you. So I think they're racking that up because they wanted to, X and this account, which is, I would hate to start, but like I said, I got other accounts and stuff like that. It wouldn't. I'd be irritated, but it wouldn't bother me. I know the rules of the game. Oh, Jedi left. Jedi had to go. Talk to Zero. He didn't even jump in. Jedi, where'd you go, brother? Did he have to go? I need to hop off. I have to clean messes up. All right, brother. I gotta get off here in a bit. I gotta go walk some dogs and kick a horse. No, I'm just kidding. I don't kick no horse. Kick me back. My horse has a mind of her own. She's telling me, so she got her own agenda. What you got, there, Pirate Meds? Anything else you want to close with, or anything you want to say? If you guys aren't following her, make sure you go check her out. She's on here all the time, just constantly helping, and check out her tea selection. Go check out her stuff. I'm a big fan of the honey and black seed. So
I just want to say thank you. I appreciate you for pulling me in, because I probably would have just been sitting here surfing the internet. So I feel like I had a fulfilling night.
Talk to
I
some
got to
people.
talk to some of the smartest people on the internet.
Hug your horse for me. Sure will. Yep. Hey, this is great. Like I said, I definitely never seen myself in this, doing this or whatever. And I only came on tonight is because I have this roundtable every Wednesday. Every first Wednesday of the month, I have a roundtable, which is this every first Wednesday of the month. And a lot of the herbalists say, hey, did we pass it? Are you going to have another one or whatever? And they know I have. Hey, morning. They know I have a deal. And they says, hey, you should do another one. So I says, hey, maybe twice a week. You think, people would come, they'd want this, but a lot of people were asking for it. So this is, just like when I do my Saturday mornings, it's what, they wanted. A lot of people want this knowledge. They may not, because they shadow ban the heck out of us. So they're like, oh, yeah, we'll shadow ban that one. Oh, no, another one popped up. We'll shadow ban that one. They got to, so more are popping up. They're like, man, you're not going to have any viewers. You're not going to have any progress here, but they're promoting other stuff. And, we're talking about another thing. And I don't even know if they let me on TikTok Shop, but a lot of people, and that's the thing I don't like about it, is because they control you. They still control you. Yeah, you're reaching a big audience, but then they say, hey, you got to advertise it 5 times. Or you can't say these words in it. Hey, you can't say black seed honey. You have to say black seed oil honey or something. They make up their stupid crap that it's not medicinal, like you were saying. Hey, it's a food product, and you gotta say stupid stuff. It can't help with can't say just some of the stupid stuff that they put, and if you
Now, you
don't,
know
they
what?
off.
This the best advice that I can give you, right? Don't even let it get to you. Because slow and steady does win the race, right?
Right.
It get frustrating. So don't, like, one thing I know is you looking into that camera to make a video, they looking at you. Don't even let them think it get to you no more. Like, you gonna build patience of steel being blocked and banned. And then it's gonna show you guys glory that no matter how blocked and banned you get, he's still gonna make a way for you. He's gonna give you enough people for what you can produce and what you can handle. Like me right now, my business is small, but it's big, right? So even if I do 30 orders in a week or 60 orders in a week, that's what I can handle. If I got an explosion of TikTok shop, I don't feel like I could give the quality like I want to. And I want to just grow and, slowly. I don't want to hit a big boom and then I can't, everybody, people can't ask me questions if it's 50,000 people looking for me. Now I got to make myself selective about who I could talk to or whatever the case may be. Or it make you less humble. I just want to take it one day at a time. At first, I thought I wanted the big poof, but then I just said, you know what? I probably wouldn't be able to handle it. It get frustrating. The trolls, man, the trolls. So that's why I say it. Don't worry about it. Just take it one day at a time. Post your videos and look at it like TikTok is PR. They gonna help you if they block something or ban something. Try to find a more clever way to say it, because then you get it down to a science. Like it took me 2 pages, but I got it down to a science where I never even get any type of violations really anymore. So it took me 2 pages, but I'd rather them be my PR now, and I learned it before I got 1.9 million followers or 10.7 million. I say something and offend 50,000 people, and it's not really how I really meant it. You know what I'm saying?
I don't get any strikes because of stuff that I've done. Like I said, like except for that music thing that they banned all the music, whatever, and I had some videos that were music, but they've banned my guests, like wiped out their entire account that were about to go live with me on a thing, and they give those little things, like I said the other day with the little things, but there were no violations. I didn't, and any of their stuff. They says you can't go FYP, and that's all it was, or whatever, the For You page, and I'm like, what for? It's an all original video. They were just doing it, not even telling me or saying I have or whatever. They were doing it sneakily without making any notification. I had to go back on my videos, and that's how I found them. And I was like, they're just doing under on stuff because, I've never got any real violations on this account. They're just doing little stuff like that to whatever. And it's like I said, they've banned 3 of the guests that I had on here. All of a sudden, right before they're about to come on my show, they got their whole entire account banned. And this has happened to 3 of my guests. They had to start all over again. And some people, I don't think they care about your little account. And I'm like, it's not the account, it's the content. It's not the followers. It's but it is what it is. Like you said, patience is a thing, and I have lots of it. This is not my only account. I think in my time I had 17 on here, and I still have another 4. But just roll with it and see what goes on.
Oh yeah, 17. You said something. Yeah, I'm about to get me some Moringa. Bump that. 17 accounts. Yeah, you got something going on over here, and it's probably the whole co-op thing. You just never know what it is.
Right.
But I'ma just pray for your protection, because that's what keeps us here. It's God. He owns everything. It's his world, even his internet. So He'll keep you here. And don't worry about, it's okay to take it one day at a time. I'm learning that it's okay to take it one day at a time. And he don't want to overwhelm you because a lot of people just watching. A lot of people, when they promote stuff and there be a bunch of people watching it, listen, I'm not a clown. My value high. So I ain't gonna, your value is high. So of course, people gonna come and search you out. You're not gonna be a gesture on somebody's For You page. So you understand your value is there.
Yep.
And I
I
said,
got you.
even how, God is with you, right? In certain situations, because when you talk, you like a little nervous, you're a little reserved, but God called you to be the host over all these people who are talkers. You just never know what he's going to use you for. So that's why I say anything that they doing to you is PR. Just look at them like, yep, this my PR. Y'all trying to show me how to be the best at it. And you're going to end up being the best host. You're going to have the best platform. And God going to use you to connect all of us. You know what I'm saying? Because who else could have brought all of us together on one platform? You.
Right. Yep. Yep.
So that's you
Appreciate that.
operating in your gift.
Right. I agree. Thank you. Thank you for that. That means a lot. And yes. Well, I don't want to take too much of your time. I'm going to go do some things around here with the dogs. They get anxious. I got 12 of them to walk. And so, and I love you all. Thank you for hanging out with us. Thank you. Hey, this live will actually be live. I learned how to do this. I'm gonna post it on my YouTube channel, From Them Farms. It's gonna be on my YouTube channel, the whole. So if you missed any of it or want to go back and rehash some stuff, it will be on there. So, and I'll try to post some clips on here, but all of it will be on my YouTube. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate you. Pirate Meds, thank you so much for everything you do. Thank you. I can't thank you from the bottom of my heart. Just keep doing it, and hope to have you on again, as always.
Good night. Thank you.
Night, everybody. Thank you, Freebird. You're awesome. Appreciate you. Thanks for all the support. Casey, Ashley, Debbie, all you in here that have been hanging out with us. Hey, I see Ben. Ben came in here. Who's She Light? Appreciate you all. Jedi, thanks for coming out and hanging out. Alma, sorry you couldn't make it. Thanks for hanging out in the audience and stuff like that. Got to have you in here next. So what I'm going to do, and I'll post it or whatever, I'll probably do, instead of once a month every first Wednesday, I'll probably have it 2 times every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks on a Wednesday, I'll do this. I think it's beneficial. I think a lot of people, this panel today was awesome. Did you guys enjoy that? That was an awesome panel. Couple of them that couldn't make it, they told me they couldn't make it, but they would stop by, and they did. They hung out. Stacy had something else planned. She wanted to be in here, but they have it marked for the first of the month, for the first Wednesday. But I'll try to do it more often. I think twice a week, every 2 weeks. We'll do this, incorporates, and this gets it more out there. I appreciate you, and man, I love to have this whole thing filled, just man, and just reaching out to a lot of people. But it means a lot. Love you all. From Them Farms to your home. If you guys need to know any information about stuff, I'm going to be posting 20 things that maybe you didn't know about moringa that it helps with, and there's a lot of. I'm going to be doing recipes. So if you guys are looking for recipes, I'm going to be putting out recipes too for moringa, anything from cookies to shakes to tinctures, all kinds of stuff, pancakes, bread. So we were talking about a lot of that stuff today in our meeting, our collective meeting. And if you guys want to know more about that, how you can hang out with us and learn a lot of stuff like I learn, or talk to these other moringa farmers, hit me up, DM. Love you all. Jedi, love you, brother. Casey, appreciate you. Jedi, thanks for all your support and help. You guys have been amazing. You guys have been amazing. Just the confidence and you guys do, and just the upbringing, and you guys are just awesome. I can't say more. Love you all. Let's say Wednesday. I'll see you out. Like I said, you guys want to turn in for this Saturday. This Saturday is going to be really awesome. You guys will enjoy. You will enjoy this next guest. I'm going to start posting some of this stuff off. So look forward to it. Love you all. From the farms to your home. Contact with Deadeye Two Tongue? Yeah, I can contact him. I got his number and stuff. I mean, I can contact him. Yeah, Casey. DM me if you need anything. I'll direct it towards him or direct you towards him or whatever. Jeans, blue eyes. All right. See you, Freebird. I gotta go walk the dogs. Just wanted to make sure he was. Yeah. I had him on here. He's been, he's been busy. I know he's doing a lot of stuff. And like I said, a lot of the herbalists, they can't always get on here, but I always let them know. But everyone has their lives, so yeah.